I was very excited when Sarah asked me to say a word about Cliff and Karen Parker. Actually, I thought of 4 words. The first is team. I can hardly think of one without the other. Their personalities and skill sets just fit each other. They share the same life dreams. The second word is gifted. Both Karen and Cliff are amazingly talented people. They're strong visionaries with the organizational skills to see those dreams become a reality. The third word is devoted. They are totally devoted to the goal. They are tenacious. They are relentless. Give Cliff and Karen a compelling dream, and they can outwork anyone. Only the Lord knows the number of hours both of them put into building Second Mile. The last word is love. Karen and Cliff both deeply love and trust God. They know that the key to change lives is Jesus, and that's why they have lived their lives turning people to Him. I've known the Parkers now for 14 years, and I've seen both of them be there for so many people. If you're hurting, if you need help, if you need somebody to believe in you, Cliff and Karen is the couple. They love God, they care for the hurting, and they deeply have always appreciated their staff and volunteers at Second Mile. These 4 words, team, gifted, devoted, and love, has been my experience with Cliff and Karen Parker. So, Cliff and Karen, yay God for this event. The Hall of Faith is exactly where you belong.
Karen and Cliff, they were special in teaching me practical commitment. So everything we do was commitment first to the Lord, and the second one, commitment to the neighbors. All the time, we were praying for them, thinking of them, receiving them. They were the reason of our work. And then commitment to each other.
Well, Second Mile began as a church-based ministry, as a mission outpost and outreach to the community. And to do that, he raised up at the right moment a couple called Cliff and Karen Parker, and they had the unique combination of spiritual leadership gifting and just a compassion for the community and this entrepreneurial leadership ability. And God used that in just a remarkable way to birth Second Mile into a nonprofit ministry that has become now the most preeminent Christian development ministry in the Fort Bend County region. And for that reason, I believe this is a great recognition of Cliff and Karen Parker now that they are entering the Hall of Faith. And congratulations to both of you.
Because of the groundwork that Karen and Cliff Parker laid well over 10 years ago, we've been able to help over thousands of our neighbors with their dental needs. Our clinic here is top-notch, and we usually produce more than $20,000 to $30,000 worth of dentistry for our neighbors where they couldn't be getting it anywhere else.
Well, Cliff and Karen came to me about 10 to 15 years ago with a vision of starting a free medical clinic to help service the neighbors here at Second Mile. As we began to see more and more patients, we began to realize the extreme need in the community that was there for individuals that didn't have access to health care, either not having insurance or just not having the funds to be able to see a doctor. By being able to open a free clinic, we were able to meet that need and try to service the neighbors in that area.
The way that the Parkers have influenced my life, I think back to 13 years that we've known each other, is that they have always been there for key moments in life. When I would think of the Parkers' legacy, I would say their legacy would just be described as a heart for people, unconditional love, and just always finding a way to be involved in people's lives. The one thing that I remember about the Parkers that always caught my attention was their love for people and their willingness to always go that second mile to serve people.
I have an opportunity to visit a lot of areas of this country, and when people realize that I'm with Chick-fil-A, I often get the question, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I give them a really plain answer, and it's our owner-operators, and it's people like the Parkers who live out the values that you and Kathy intended for in their communities. It is an honor and a privilege to be part of the celebration as you, the Parkers, are being inducted into the Second Mile's Hall of Faith. So congratulations to the Parkers. Well done.
When Cliff and Karen led Second Mile, The approach that we had to serve our neighbors, it was like serving Jesus. So every time a neighbor came through those doors, we would have to see him as we were serving Jesus. So we would have to give everything, treat everybody exactly the same, love and care, and mark a difference in their lives.
When I look at all that Second Mile is accomplishing today, I'm grateful for the many years of service, leadership, and vision that Cliff and Karen brought to Second Mile. They pulled together a platform through which we serve the clients in Fort Bend County today. They had a vision for a dental care service that we're able to provide today. I remember that was really hard to pull off, but they continued hard to find the chairs, to deal with the regulations, to get everything in place so we could provide that service to our clients. Thank you, Cliff and Karen, for your many years of service, and congratulations on your induction in the Second Mile's Hall of Faith.
What I remember is thinking, how in the world was Second Mile so fortunate to have such quality leadership? No matter how frantic it was, Cliff kept his sense of humor and his big smile. And Karen was so efficient and capable in doing the administrative part. Larry and I are so delighted that Karen and Cliff are being inducted into the Hall of Faith. We feel like it is so deserved and feels like a dot at the end of a sentence. And we're so grateful to Second Mile and are really happy about this.
They were labored hard, they worked hard. Second Mile would not be where it is today had the Parkers not been a part. Some of the favorite things that I enjoyed about them, it moves into the area of professionalism and hard work, dedication and commitment. Through some challenging and difficult times, I witnessed Cliff and Karen knuckle down and do those things that were right to push Second Mile forward. Over the many years of Cliff and Karen's service, they have taken Second Mile to levels that many only dreamed of. So, celebrating with them, let's go ahead and do some fireworks. Let's make the 4th of July come out today and celebrate with the Parkers as God has favored them.
I first met Cliff and Karen Parker in 2007, and shortly thereafter came to work at Second Mile Mission Center. I was amazed at how much had been accomplished. I loved their passion for God and for His purposes. I loved their compassion for those that we serve. Cliff is a very good planner, always a couple of 3 steps ahead. He is precise in his logistics. And Karen, I have to tell you, she is off the charts creative and an excellent, she's a gifted communicator. Second Mile's Hall of Faith was established in 2013. And of course, it was inspired by Hebrews 11, the Hall of Faith in the Bible. And I can say that the induction of Cliff and Karen Parker into Second Mile's Hall of Faith kind of goes like, by faith, Cliff and Karen Parker established Second Mile Mission Center as an independent nonprofit. By faith, they established the first free and charitable clinic in Fort Bend County. By faith, Cliff and Karen Parker stepped up to lead efforts to help victims of Katrina and Rita. I'm pleased that the Parkers and their legacy of contribution to Second Mile Mission Center will live on through their induction into Second Mile's Hall of Faith.
So often we get asked, how did Second Mile Mission Center come to be? And for us and our family, it was early in 2001. As we pulled into the parking lot of the church, I noticed that there was a box truck over against the wall, and Karen and I had been pulling some things together that we wanted to donate. And I was wondering if there was a way that we could take that box truck and use that for collecting donations to help our clothing room. We were in the 2nd largest county in Texas, and yet there was only about 10% of available resources to reach out and help many, many people that were in need. And so as we started looking at that, the Lord used that to build a vision in my heart, in Karen's heart, and in our kids. And through that, we stepped out in that walk of faith. And so as we looked further into Second Mile, it became clear that that would be an integral part of who this mission center was. To not just go the first mile as society or legalism requires, but to go beyond that. To pick up that pack and walk that second mile as an opportunity to reach out and help that person in need.
So when forming Second Mile Mission Center, we knew that we needed a compelling mission statement to guide and direct our staff and our volunteers in what our mission was. We knew that it was important to connect the physical needs with the spiritual needs. But people that were hungry, people that needed clothes, were not receptive to hearing the Word of God. So we knew that was our tool, right? To use our physical needs to tell people about the opportunity to have a relationship with Christ. And so that's really how the mission statement came to be. We had an opportunity to nominate a volunteer for a presidential award, and without a doubt, we knew that it would be Pat. So it was an exciting process to nominate her because we really felt like someone could validate the effort and heart of really volunteerism. And we were thrilled when she was selected for the presidential award. And it was an exciting time for us. It was exciting for her. She'll probably cringe if I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I remember asking her, how was it when you met the president? She goes, honestly, Karen, I was scared to death my wig was going to fly off. And we just cracked up about that. So during Katrina relief and later Rita relief, we knew that the Mission Center was going to be on a different trajectory from that point forward. I'll never forget the day the mail came, and Cliff brought the mail in, and when we pulled it out, it was a check for $100,000. We had never seen a check with that many zeros on it at the Mission Center, ever. And honestly, we didn't even believe it was true.
Over $6.5 million worth of goods and services distributed in a 3 to 4 month period, all through the blessing and the outreach of those that wanted to care for their neighbor in need. It was an incredible time. A time that saw Second Mile in this little corner of the world to have the focus and the spotlight, not to receive glory, but to give glory to the Lord.